Hi everybody, it's me Rogue Assassin here, and welcome my Rogue Weebs to a new year. I just did my special New Year's video, also 50 subscribers. Thank you for the 50, or I would say like new people that have subscribed to us or is joining this video today. You are now a Rogue Weeb in this community that we have started to basically that we started to make. Any This is one of my videos that I'll be posting. I'm just getting back into the daily uploads like I usually do. Well, not daily, sometimes I just don't post because sometimes I am sick or I'm just sick. But yeah, it's just I'm just getting back into the mood of daily uploads after my very long rest, or short rest, I would say. I would say it's a short rest. For you, it might be a very long rest that I've just taken, but that's how the internet goes, obviously. That's how internet goes. Now, I'm gonna stop rambling on and get into this episode. This is part 3 of What If Deku Had Animatronic Abilities. Now, last part we left off, I stopped at I think basically the test. I stopped at the test with the ball foil, as how Deku sent Bakugo flying. Uh, just statement, like, this is now gonna be taking a few days to get to the heroes versus villains. So, in this time frame, Deku has met, I would say five different animatronics. He's first met Glitchtrap, which now he has four main, basically animatronic characters. The people that he's met so far is Shadow Freddy, Golden Freddy, the Marionette, and Glitchtrap. And the new animatronics that will be joining his friend group that he's busy making will be as follows as you see on the picture: Barney, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy. And then after the basically heroes versus villains, I'm gonna do the USJ. Actually, I'm not gonna do the USJ. Or maybe I will, depending on... Yeah, maybe I will. It's like, depending on how fast I am, I will do the USJ. Because I'm trying to lessen my video hours here. So I'm gonna get into the habit of not posting hour-long videos anymore. And if you like the hour-long videos, well, I'm sorry, but I can't do that anymore. Uh, I just want more people to watch my content, and I don't want them to watch an hour-long flippant video, so I'm gonna stop rambling here because I'm wasting time continuing on the story. We're gonna flash to the time where we're gonna flash to a time in classroom. Basically, Izuku Midoriya still has all his friends, Ida, Ochako, and basically his two friends he still makes in class, obviously. As it's basically Azawa comes in with another thing, as he's like, I have something important to say. As everyone gets tensed up because they think it's going to be another test that will get them expelled. As Mr. Azawa hisses, you have to choose your vice rep. As everything goes silent, as Azawa explains, as everyone decides on a voting method. As I would say Deku doesn't get the most votes. I would say Ida and Mon will get the most votes, because just to make it easier, and like I do with all my what ifs, Deku's gonna fight, and like I'm gonna start doing with some of my what ifs now, you'll see here. Continuing, as it's basically lunch period, as they are busy basically eating in the cafeteria, as basically Ida's talking about the same things in canon until the alarms go off, as basically everyone starts going insane. They start running down the hallway, as as Ida asked one of the third years what's going on, as they said that the USJ is that the alarm of the UA has went off. This hasn't happened in basically years. The same thing in canon, as they all were forced against the window, as Ida sees what's going on outside, but Deku can sense something's wrong here. As while Ida like basically goes to calm everyone, Deku's gonna slip off. As he's running down the hallways, he can sense this evil intent somewhere. As he stops, he sees a decayed wall, as he's like, what the? As he follows the decayed wall's opening, as he looks in the room, as he sees someone grab a paper, or someone like basically grabbing a file, as he's reading it, as he puts it in his coat, as Izuku's like, hey, stop there. Who are you? Are you a villain? As this blue-haired person turns around as he's like, what are you doing here? As Izuku asks. As Tomoe Shigaraki basically says, oh, an NPC. You weren't supposed to be here. As you can see a black mist portal opens up. As Izuku, basically it's getting bigger as Izuku attacks. As he doesn't pull off any of his chains because he thinks he doesn't need to. Actually, he does pull off one chain as he pulls off a bunny chain, a golden bunny, as he throws it at Tomoro. Tomoro tries to catch it, but it disappears like a glitch. As you can say, basically, you can say something gets basically spawned in front of him. Like while Shigaraki is in the black portal, he's about to portal away until a bunny thing appears with a knife and nearly slices his head off. As Glitch Snap's like, damn it! I missed again. I was so close to ending his pathetic life. As he looks, as basically Izuku's like, and if you killed him, you know Glitchtrap, we're heroes, we're not allowed to kill. Yeah, you're not allowed to kill. That doesn't apply to me, as he says while basically glitching out. As basically him and Glitchtrap are starting to have an argument. As basically he's like, forget a Glitchtrap. Let's just not fight today. As he looks at Glitchtrap, as he points, as he says, I'm gonna get that idea out of your head if I have to. That killing, I'm gonna put this idea in your head. Killing is bad, and I'm gonna make you, and I'm gonna forcefully stuff that down your throat every time you try to kill someone. There will be a punishment, Glitchtrap. You do know that, right? As he's like, boo hoo hoo, whatever. As he's glitching out. As he turns back into a golden bunny, or I should say a green bunny, a light green bunny. As he picks the locket up, as he's like, I gotta tell the teachers about this. As the period, basically all that happens, as they're all back in class, as Izuku told Mr. Ozawa, and Mr. Ozawa said he'll look into it. As Izuku has a bad feeling, he has a bad feeling. And this happened much more earlier because the heroes versus villains didn't even appear. So this happened much more earlier. So it gives the basically how can I say the school time to investigate what happened. As and trying to figure out what they took. Which they don't know. They're not gonna find out. They're not gonna even figure it out. But continuing on. So I'm gonna get to the hero versus villains. Heroes versus villains test with All Might. As you can see, basically Mr. Ozawa is not in the classroom as everyone's waiting for the new teacher. As you can hear footsteps, as you see All Might in his original basically costume that he wears in canon. In the anime when he walked through the classroom, as he says, I am here, coming through the door like a hero, as whatever he says. I don't even know what he said. But basically everyone starts talking, basically how can I say it, getting excited because All Might's here. Deku's trying to hold it in as he's doing very well because he's keeping one hell of a straight face while basically seeing All Might because he is holding it in. If I say Deku is still a big fan of All Might, scratch that, he's not that big of a fan. He's not that like massive fan. He's just a fan. No, a literal fan. Oh, I gotta stop. I can felt I just lost 2 subscribers there. Oh gosh, I felt that. There's gonna be someone in the comments be like, Jesus, these puns are bad. I can tell you. And then there's just gonna be another one in the comments like just punning away. I would love to hear your comments right now, but I would love to hear and see and read your comments right at this moment. So please, like, once you finish reading this video, comment down below what you thought of the pun and what you think of the video, because I love to hear your comments. I always do. And continuing on, uh Shizuku is keeping a straight face in, like, basically while watching anime, as he's dorking out inside, as basically the animatronics that he has with him, which are as followed: Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy, Marionette, Glitchtrap, Freddy, Barney, Chica, and Foxy. All like, seriously? As they don't get why he's such a big, like, why everyone likes him so much. But they're just like, whatever. But continuing on, as we basically get into the hero versus villains, same place as always, as they all have their hero suits, as Deku's hero suit is, as these hero costume is, it looks like the Marionette's clothes, but it's way different, as he has the Marionette mask with him, as he wears that to basically the entrance exam. He has more than one hero suit. He can swap between Marionette, Golden Freddy, Glitchtrap, Shadow Freddy, Freddy, Chica, Foxy, or Barney. He can swap between them. And I'll be swapping, like, basically to keep things interesting. I'll be swapping how he looks, his hero suit looks every time. I'll be swapping how his hero suit looks, just to keep things interesting. As basically he's the horror hero. Yes, he's a horror hero. He's like Mr. Zawa. He's a like back alley brawler. But instead of a brawler, he can do much more better things and interesting things. But I'm not going to dwell on his abilities. I'm actually going to dwell on his abilities right now in the battle, as it's the same people as in canon: Uraraka, Deku, Bakugo and Ida. As they enter the building, as Bakugo looks back at Deku, as he basically scoffs a bit, as he's thinking that he's gonna break that nerd's face once and for all, basically blow up the nerd. He's gonna destroy him. As Izuku like looks at Bakugo, as he's like, this is not gonna be good, is it? As he hisses, he still has his chains on him. He still has his, like, how can I say, keyring, and like animatronic keyrings on him. As he looks at Uraraka, as he still makes the same plan with her. Basically, he's gonna distract Bakugo while Uraraka can get the bomb. As basically that goes, as Uraraka and Deku are running in the building, as Deku looks around, as he can see the cameras, as when he stares at a camera, it instantly just malfunctions. So he tries not to stare at the camera, but if he uses his abilities, then the light, basically something's gonna happen. And I would say, like, they basically, the time that they have to battle is a bit more later. I can say the sun is going down. That's how later it is. Because they still had to go through their normal school day, and now they have to go through this. So it's somewhere later in the day. It's like, how can I say, a bit darker. As the lights are on in the building. As Uraraka is rushing. As Deku stops running. As he's just walking down the hallways now. As he's basically like putting his hand on the walls, like just wiping it over, as he can hear explosions. As when the explosions get so close to him where it's just on the next side of the wall, he opens his eyes as it's black with one white circle in the middle. Like I showed you before in the other videos. If you didn't watch the other videos, go watch it back. Part 1 and 2 is very interesting. As Deku basically jumps back as he's floating, as everyone's watching him, as Bakugo is like, "You damn nerd, I'm gonna kick your ass," as Bakugo rushes at Deku, tries to throw the explosion, as Deku floats to the other side. Bakugo misses, as Deku just waves his hand over the entire area as the lights start flickering off and on, as he's like, "What's going on to the lights?" As it's fine, like all the other rooms are fine except for Bakugo's room, as his eyes is glowing and all you can hear is a child laughing as Izuku is basically living up to what he wants to be, as Bakugo is basically like looking around. As he blinks, Deku's gone. As everyone can the cameras went out for a second. There's two cameras in the room, and both cameras went out for a second as Deku was gone. As they're all looking around, the camera's like, "What's happening? Where did he just go?" As even All Might doesn't understand what's going on. As Bakugo is just seeing Deku everywhere. Every time the lights flicker out and back on, Deku's there. Then it flicks off and then back on, then he's gone. Then he's on the other side. As he's disorientating Bakugo, in a way. And he's also freaking out Bakugo until he's right in front of him. And all you hear is boo. As he flicks Bakugo on the head. Bakugo goes flying through a wall. Bah! As basically Izuku, the lights go off again and Izuku disappears. As Bakugo, what happened to Bakugo? When Izuku flicked him on the head, he basically used his... I say Deku has telekinesis, so he basically used his telekinesis and threw the wall at very powerful speeds. As Bakugo, when he closed his eyes, he basically went unconsciously, was dragged into a different world. As this world is like a pizzeria. As you know what's gonna happen here. It's custom night, boys. As there's only 8 animatronics there, which is Puppet, Shadow Freddy, Golden Freddy, Glitch Trap, and yeah, Glitch Trap is part of custom night this time. Freddy, Chica, Barney, Foxy. Those are the only 2. They are only 8 animatronics. As Bakugo is not doing night guard duty, he's just out and about in the pizzeria as he's fighting the animatronics, literally fighting. As his quirk doesn't want to work here because he can't use his quirk here. As Bakugo can see his quirk doesn't work, so Bakugo just has to run. As Bakugo's running from this fox thing as he closes the door. As it's in the kitchen, as Chika's there, as she throws a knife at the wall, as she basically she looks at them. She basically looks at Bakugo and is like, you can run, but you can't hide. As she basically chases after Bakugo as well. As Bakugo's knocked out, Izuku has just disappeared off the cameras. As he's just appearing at one camera, looking at it, and then it goes out. As he appears at another camera, looks at it, goes out. Another one, looks at it, goes out. As every time the camera comes back on, he's gone. As he's back to Uraraka, as he just appears behind her, as he's like, "Uraraka," as she just basically just gets a jumps. She just got scared from her. I say, "Deku, I didn't see you there. You're quite scary, you know that." As Deku's like, "I'm supposed to be scary. I am. It's my job to be scary." As he basically says that it's my job to be scary. As he floats down down to her. She's surprised he can even float. As she was gonna ask about, she's gonna ask about that later. As he leans down into her ear as she tells what Ida has been doing. He's been laughing maniacally, and it's really funny. As Deku looks at Ida, he's like, okay. Well, I'll cause a distraction. You get the bomb, okay? As Deku like basically floats in, as he just appears in like basically in front of Ida, as Ida's looking at the door, as he's like, young Midor, as he's like, Midoriya. Well, basically he does this, the Ida thing, the Ida villain thing that he has to do, as Ida rushes in trying to kick Izuku, as Izuku just disappears, as appears like behind him, as he basically grabs the pillar that Uraraka used to hit Ida with the first time. He basically pulls that off of its hinges and throws it at Ida, as Ida has to dodge, as Ida's running around the room, as the lights are flickering off every time, as Ida doesn't even realize that Uraraka is there, as Ida tries to like jet boost kick Deku, as Deku basically catches it with his hand, just like bah. As he's like, "Is that all you got, Ida?" I'm disappointed. As as when he says like he's disappointed in Ida because he thought Ida could do better. Basically he uses his telekinesis and throws Ida against the wall. As he's pinning him there, as he floats up to Ida, as he says, "Now, Ida, can you do me a favor and fall asleep?" As he puts a hand on Ida's head, as Ida just basically falls asleep. As Uraraka touches the bomb, as All Might's like, "And that's it, heroes win." As they have to pick up like basically when like Deku leaves, he has to pick up both Ida and Bakugo with his quirk as he places them down. As basically All Might says that Deku was the VMP in this one. He helped his team and he found a way to how can I say stop the enemies as Bakugo and them are still asleep. Now, what happened with Ida? Ida was also dragged into Custom Night with Bakugo, as Ida's just in this dark like pizzeria. It's like, where am I? As you can see, this basically thing that's floating, this puppet toy thing that's floating. As Ida looks at it, as it looks back and tilts its head, as behind it another thing looks at him, which is a bear, as its eye basically its brown eyes, it's looking at Ida. As it starts rushing at him with the marionette, Ida just has to run. It's like, what the, I gotta run. As Ida like starts running into through the cafeteria, as he sees the chicken thing, as basically he runs the other way, as there's not much ways to run because Chica was down the hallway in the cafeteria near the exit, as Ida is now near the basically how can I say it, the security office. As Bakugo drags Ida in as he closes the door, blocks both three of them as he's like, "What's going on?" As basically Bakugo says, "The damn nerd dragged me into this place." My quirk. Basically, their quirks can't work here except for Ida's because Ida's quirk is a non-combat quirk. It's only meant for speed, not for combat. As like Izuku can turn Ida's quirk off if he wants to, but he doesn't feel like it. He doesn't see it much as a threat to the animatronics. As basically Ida comes to that conclusion, as he's like, "That damn nerd." As he's screaming, basically yelling to the sky, "Hey nerd, let us out of here!" As actually Izuku hears this and he's like, "Oh yeah." As basically he touches their heads as they wake up, basically panting heavily, as they're like, "You damn nerd, where did you put me in? What was that?" As he's like, "Just another aspect of my quirk." As like Bakugo is like, "Another aspect? So, how many aspects of your quirk do you have?" Uh, I can't tell you that, Bakugo. As Bakugo just chits a bit, as he says, "Why not?" As Deku's like, as Deku says, "It's best to keep your cards close to your chest than to show everything out." As Basically, he doesn't want to show them all his abilities. Deku himself doesn't know all his own abilities, as he's still learning a lot of them. And I would skip to the USJ. Yeah, I can go on for like, another 25 minutes. As I'm gonna stop at 45, but I'm not gonna stop at 50. Damn this hiccup. Continuing on. We stop at the USJ, everything goes as canon, but Deku has a very bad feeling. Deku has gained a few more animatronics, as he's gained 5, which is as followed. Yes, he's gained the entire toy, basically Five Nights at Freddy's 2 roster, with Balloon Boy. Balloon Boy is also in this. Uh, he's gained Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangled, and Balloon Boy, or BB for short, but we just call him Balloon Boy for now. Continuing on, as Izuku has a very bad feeling, he just doesn't know why. He's in his hero costume, obviously, as they all pull up to the USJ and pull up to the. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but I'd rather leave that out. I can't edit that out, but you're gonna hear the first part. But I'm gonna stop. Continuing, they pull up to the USJ as everyone listens to 13, the black hole hero. I remembered her name this time. As she's explaining the USJ until the villains come. As he remembers that blue-haired villain, as he's like, it's you. You were the one that stole that notes in the cafeteria. As he's like, as basically, like Shigaraki says, basically introduces the hero versus the hero, the villain, basically the villain, basically that villain group. I do not remember the villain group, but the Legion, what? Jeez, what is Legions of Villains? Something of villains. As Ishigaki introduces himself with his entire group, as they say they're here to kill All Might, as Mr. Zawa tells 13 to get everyone out of here. Same thing as in canon, except this time Izu actually no. Instead of Kurogiri teleporting everyone to a random location, it's only Izuku that is not being teleported. Because I would expect Fayuki and Maneta to do everything quite easily, with these sticky balls, because you can just throw sticky balls in the water, and Fayuki somehow when they catch all the villains that are in the water, they can get Fayuki can quickly swim to the other side before the villains attack, as Maneta can just throw balls behind her. Continuing on, as Izuku's the only one not teleported, it's not that he reacted fast enough, it's just that the Kurogiri couldn't teleport him for some reason. Basically, he became nothing but code. As you just see how he glitches out, as he's just glitching out there. As he basically comes back, and that's another one of his abilities. He can evade any attack by just glitching out or teleporting to a different location. As Izuku looks at Kurogiri, as he basically tries to attack him. So the first thing he tries is throwing something at him, as he picks up I would say random he pulls out a brick from the floor, I guess, anything, he throws a villain at him. Basically, he brings a villain and he just throws it at him, actually at Kurogiri, as Kurogiri goes right through it, as Izuku's like, huh, that's interesting. Well, I can't hurt you physically, can I hurt you psychologically? As Izuku basically looks at him, as his eyes turn black and then a white circle in the middle, As his basically he starts using his animatronic powers, he starts floating. As he puts the mask on this time, as he's like, here we go. As he basically waves his hand and Kurigiri disappears. As basically Shigaraki just saw Kurigiri just disappear. As he's like, what did you do to Kurigiri? Where did you send him? As he's like, oh, he's busy having fun with my other friends. As we see the toy animatronics there with BB. As Kurigiri is in this unknown realm. As he's looking around. It's basically when he looks outside, he's in space. As he's like, what the? As the pizzeria is in space, he can't teleport anywhere. As he can't even use his quirk. As Kurigiri is basically trapped between a rock and a hard spot. Because he's like dodging animatronics and trying to survive. But like Deku has to be focused to do this. So that means Deku can't use any of his other animatronics and he can't attack anyone if Kurigiri is trapped in this dimension. As basically the Nomu takes out basically Aizawa and attacks basically Deku. Deku has to dodge. He's not using his animatronic powers. He's too focused on keeping Kurigiri there. As Kurigiri is there as he's about to get his, how can I say it? He's about to get his head. No, I would say he's about to just get killed by Five Nights at Freddy's 2. There in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 section, he's about to get his basically head bitten by a mangle. As he's like, damn it, I can't dodge this. As basically the Nomu hits him. As Kurigiri appears back in the world. As he's like, basically has his hand to his head. As he looks around and he's like, I'm out. As Deku goes flying, as he stops. As he's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that. As the Nomu starts flying. As he throws the Nomu against the wall. As he pulls out one of his chains. As it's the marionette. As he throws it on the floor. As the marionette appears and starts floating with him. As he's like, deal with the other villains. As he's like, deal with the other villains. And here, a little more friends. As he pulls out Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy, and Glitch Trap is with him. So he pulls out them too. He doesn't pull out any of the other animatronics because it's basically he doesn't want to use. He wants to save them for now until he literally needs them. As all you hear is he basically Zuko breathe. As basically in Izuku's head you hear Foxy screaming. Basically he's gonna kick your ass, he's gonna kick this thing's ass. As Deku gets a boost of speed, strength, and basically I can say bravery as he rushes the Nomu at top speeds. As he basically buries the Nomu into the ground as he's punching him. As he keeps on punching the Nomu. As this is another thing for Foxy. Foxy will increase someone's strength to superhuman speed, superhuman strength, for a short amount of time. Once the time is up, you have to get rid of how can I say it? You have to just get rid of Foxy or else there's gonna be some bad things that's gonna happen. As he's punching basically the Nomu, as he pulls Foxy's chain off, basically the keychain, Foxy's keychain off, as he drops it on the Nomu, as he jumps back, as Foxy's holding the Nomu down, as he explodes, as all you hear is a boom. As basically Deku's like, I hope that did damage. As he's looking at the Nomu's regenerating, as he's like, ah, damn it. As on Deku's keychain, we can see a fox rebuilding itself. As that's one of Foxy's abilities. As basically Deku closes his eyes, and when everyone blinks, Deku's gone. As he's behind the Nomu, as he tries to how can I say it? He's trying to kill him as fast as he's trying to find weaknesses. As he punches the Nomu, as basically he still has the superhuman strength, because of Freddy. This is Freddy's ability, but no one else can see him. As he makes the Nomu float, as the Nomu is flying, as he's flying all over the center of where like All Might have fought. As Deku's doing damage, but the Nomu's regenerating too fast. It's like, damn, I need to stop his regeneration somehow. As if you're wondering how Deku was able to, how can I say it? The Nomu Deku can't punch through the Nomu because number one, with his superhuman strength, because the Nomu has shock absorption, so he can't just punch through the Nomu. That's gonna be hard for him. But continuing on, as the basically Nomu gets flung in the USJ as he lands on same place as he's still in the same place where he fought basically he gets flung in the USJ as I would say he just scrapes the floor as Izuku appears again. Sorry about that, guys. A little phone call that I had to take, but everything's okay now. Continuing on, as Izuku basically throws the Nomore on the ground, he appears again, and all you hear is someone basically saying "shh." As if you didn't know in Custom Night, if you didn't know in Five Nights at Freddy's, Freddy doesn't wait. Yeah, he doesn't wait for anything. He just attacks. Even if like you're looking for him on the camera, you won't find Freddy like mostly on the camera. Until he's like at the hallway, Freddy will not wait. He just attacks. And I would say that Freddy is one of the hardest animatronics to keep track of because you have to look at the cameras. If he's off the stage, you have to look at the hallway, obviously. And once he's by the hallway, you have to close the door. Because Freddy doesn't wait. He just attacks. As he's like, none of these damn, is none of these abilities harming this thing at all? I wonder what will happen if I break the thing on top of his head. As Deku tries it, I would say like he starts using Barney's but no, he starts using Chica's ability. Yeah, Chica has superhuman strength and just speed. Chica doesn't have anything else, just strength and speed. That's it. As basically Zuko rushes at the Nomu or floats at the Nomu. As the Nomu tries to punch, he dodges delicately, gracefully, or better yet word, gracefully, as he comes up at the end, as he hits it, as the thing is tough, as he could only make a small crack, as he's like, if that's not gonna kill it, then I don't know what is. As he gets swatted out of the sky as a fly, as he's like basically tumbling to the ground now. As basically the heroes are nearly here, All Might and them are nearly here. Ida already got out to like warn everyone. So the heroes are nearly here, including All Might, as I would say that basically Deku has made a dent, so all he needs to do is just break it. Like a small crack, all he needs to do is just break the thing on the head. As he goes again at the Nomu, as he basically do some Kamui things here, as he uses Glitch Trap's ability, which Glitch Trap is already out, but he recalls Glitch Trap again, as he uses Glitch Trap's ability, as he basically goes through the Nomu, as he appears behind the Nomu on top of him, as he grabs the head, as he uses Barney's ability, as all you can hear is a massive echo wave of just painful sound noises, as it takes down a lot of villains, as basically the glass on the brain is cracking and cracking and cracking, until he basically punches it, as he punches the brain, as he just punches the glass open, as he goes foxy again. When he basically was gonna punch it, he can't break through it instantly. He has to punch it multiple times. He punched 10 times, as basically he's using the Foxy thing again. It's finished, as he throws Foxy on basically on the open brain, as Foxy holds on to it as he explodes, as all you can see is the Nomu just drop dead, as this time Izuku killed the Nomu instead of All Might, as Izuku jumps down and he's panting heavily, as Izuku is tired because he's also been using telekinesis to hold the Nomu back a bit. As Kirigiri is the same thing, no, this can't be happening. They cheated somehow, as Kirigiri Yasu says, Shigaraki, we have, basically Kirigiri takes Shigaraki away. The heroes burst through the villains, and All Might doesn't have to, how can I say it, fight the Nomu this time. As it's a plus on everything. And as you can see, I stuck to my word. I wasn't gonna make this a 1 hour video, so I'm stopping it here at 40 minutes, surprisingly. You guys know what to do down in the comments below. Comment, subscribe, and like the video this time. Because we have 50 likes, because we have 50 subscribers, I am gonna start putting some like goals up. If we can get 1 like in 1 day, then I might post another one of, might post the next video somewhere in 3 days, once I post the other 2 videos that I need to post. The next videos that might be coming up, is what if Deku had a legacy, and what if Deku was an Inkling. Basically, those 2 videos might be coming up. As I'm gonna stop it here, guys. So my name is Rogue Assassin. And for all you rogue weebs that are busy watching me here, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to sneeze in my outro. But continue saying my outro. For all you rogue weebs out there, remember, you have a home here. So, bye.